was struggling with procrastination, not knowing what to do, with lack of clarity, a lot of distraction, and social media addiction. Relatable, right? And you know, since I wasn't able to see any progress, I was starting to feel some certain type of imposter syndrome regarding my goals and everything that I wanted to achieve. It is unmotivating in the end. And after years and years and years, I have finally learned how to manage that, and I want to share this with you because the sense and the feeling that you get when you can actually make meaningful progress and you can see it and you feel motivated every morning, waking up with a lot of energy, that is something really valuable in anybody's life. It is part of well-being. So here goes nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. So, in the beginning it is hard because there are easier things. We don't know any better, you know, like it is so easy to just be in social media. It is so easy to just mindlessly scroll. It is so easy to just forget about the hard things that you would like to get done. It doesn't bring any satisfaction in the end. There's not anything different, and every day becomes so repetitive that it gets boring, and us being boring gets us to also be kind of sad, kind of unsatisfied, like wanting more. But since we don't see that we are able to get more, it makes us feel bad. It makes us feel incapable. The only one to blame really is the mirror. But is blaming really a solution? We are sensitive beings. We perceive things through our senses. Right now you're seeing me, right? You're seeing, like, you're seeing movement. You are listening to my voice. And I could start screaming, or I could speak slowly and soundly. You can sense it when somebody hugs you. You can feel their hand. And what other things do we have? You can taste and you can smell the food that you eat. All of these things unfold a reaction in our brains that makes us feel, right? Feeling is actually really just about the neurotransmitters that are being produced. These feelings that we get are just neurotransmitters in our brain. It is just our mind. It is just also what we perceive from inside, because we all have a voice in our head. It is all this communication from our bodies and our whole being to let us know what we need. Now, what happens when this is triggered by certain cues and certain parts of our environment, like this bitch? What happens when this is filled with a similar stimuli than what we would get with a to-do list or with reminders from our brain? The thing is that it gives us those same neurotransmitters, which commonly with social media and notifications is what is called dopamine. This is easy. It's very easy to fall into this dopamine addiction because it is all designed like this. Our attention is so valued by these enterprises who are profiting from it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Pinterest. You can name many others. They know our psychology and they are taking advantage of it. Us, we fall unconsciously. So what happens? When you're so unconscious of it, it is harder to get out. So that's why I'm here. I'm trying to let you know what is happening and why you aren't being productive right now. Why you aren't able to focus on a task for more than 10 seconds. Because your brain is conditioned to not do it. Because there's something easier that brings you that same reward. So here is the secret. I have found it in many different ways. Some people call it the dopamine cycle, motivation cycle, addiction cycle. Like, the thing is, it's a loop. It's a loop. You get a cue. You receive it through your senses. And it is telling you that you need to attend a need. It is telling you that for that, you need to make an action. Then, you do the action. Because there is a need that needs to be covered. And it is our survival mechanism to something that will give your brain that dopamine through your senses. And when this gives us pleasure, it is also giving us the motivation to do it again and do it again and do it again. It is what makes us get habits. Why? Because our brain is always searching for ways to minimize the effort and the energy consumed by our actions. So what it does is it automates it. It automates it? Yeah, I think. It makes it automatic. So what happens with repetition is that this automation becomes your standard. That is why change is so hard, because your brain is saving a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of effort by the routines that it already knows, that it already follows, that it already exists in this perfect reality and so comfortable reality, and this is what is called our comfort zone. Now, most of the time, these routines are made unconsciously. These routines are just a result of our environment, as we've seen in the last video, no, in my first video. The problem here is being unconscious of it. Now, how do we solve it? We need to create awareness around it, right? And we love a good journaling together exercises here on the channel. So this is very simple 3 steps that you can take in order to become conscious of it. Number 1, list all of your current habits. Literally, everything that you do from the moment that you wake up until you go to bed. And then, how does it make you feel? We'll be needing this later. We really gotta be asking the right questions. You shouldn't be asking shame or guilt-oriented questions in order to change. I used to be asking myself all of the time, oh, why am I so bad at showing up? Oh, why can't I do it right? What is wrong with me? And all the people I know who ask themselves these type of questions, they end up depressed. It makes everything even harder, and I just really wish that I could see that there's better ways to change without degrading your own poor heart. Like, why do we need to be so harsh on ourselves? Here's the solution that I found that works for me, which is asking action-oriented questions. You could be asking in order to discover something. The questions that I like to ask myself are, what exactly is making the work harder for me to get done without judgment? It could be a lack of skill, indeed. Okay, what do I need for it to be easier? What is a simple step that I can take today to simplify this process for me? And how can I implement it on a daily basis so I can, again, make it easier for my brain to be in this state? Your mind will be always searching for answers to give it to you. So you might as well ask for the questions that will empower you rather than hurt you. Make her your ally.
And let's make an X where we will identify and write where the bad feelings are really coming from. Is it comparison? Is it hopelessness? And what are the practices that are bringing those feelings? The thing is to replace with what we would like to feel, what we would like to prioritize, and what matters most to us. And again, what are the practices that reinforce those? In the end, I got very inspired, so I also added little ways that I could make it easier for me to get those practices in a shorter amount of time.
What we do actually matters and actually has an impact both on our life and the lives of others. But we have to really understand it all. All starts with our inner thoughts, with our inner treatment, and the limitations that we are putting onto ourselves with the stories that we are telling about our life. But I just want to let you know, it is not helpless. You have the capability and the power to change it from today. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of the month, the week, anything like that. It can be at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. I have done it many ways, and know that it is completely valid, and it can happen that you can fall again into it because it's what your brain knows, but you can always know better. Seek inspiration in the people that you look up to, that you admire, and know that to actually make it a reality, you need to put a barrier between what you seem as successful and the life that you're living, so your energy can like keep working and creating this reality rather than just staying here at the border and admiring other people's reality and thinking that that is going to bring you some satisfaction when you need to be working on your own life. It is valid to take some time, create what you like, create an environment that makes you feel good. What we do reinforces the beliefs that we have about ourselves, about the world, about life, about meaning. And later on, that motivates us to either keep digging into that same way of life or change. We're always moving forward, even if the line looks like this, like in the end, every step in the way was so very important. But to start, we need to start creating these routines and start implementing it, like really having a plan, having objectives, having a clear goal, and thinking about the future with a very optimistic and very hopeful approach. That will change your life. That is what I want to talk about in the next video. So I'm counting on you there. But you should be counting on you. Every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Yeah, okay. Bye. That was it. Hope you have a great day.